What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Olympic silver medalist, undefeated, WBO featherweight world champion, Shakur Stevenson is chasing down four-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who is currently the WBA super featherweight world champion, 130-pound world champion, right? Leo Santa Cruz. Shakur Stevenson is stating that, in a recent interview he did, is stating that he don't believe the fight will come to fruition between Leo Santa Cruz and undefeated two-division world champion Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Gervonta Tank Davis is widely being speculated and reported that Gervonta Tank Davis, who's a superstar boxer, will be facing off against Leo Santa Cruz in his next bout in a pay-per-view attraction, right? With that said, Shakur Stevenson wants to fight either guy, but he says that it's real. It should be real easy to make the fight between himself and Leo Santa Cruz, more so due to the fact that he's not moving up to 135, the full lightweight division. He'll move up to he's moving up to super featherweight, which is the 130-pound division. He's WBO champion at 126 is the regular featherweight weight limit, right? And so he says that he don't believe that Gervonta Tank Davis, who recently moved up to 135, right, lightweight division, could come back down after he had a showdown with Yuriokis Gamboa at 135, and he struggled to make 135. So he don't believe that he could make weight at 130 because he's of the belief that Gervonta Tank Davis was already struggling to make the 130-pound limit. That's why he moved up to 135. So after one fight and struggling to make 135, is Gervonta Tank Davis going to be able to come back down to 130 and face off against Leo Santa Cruz? Now we know Leo Santa Cruz said the fight between himself and Gervonta Tank Davis, if it's going to take place, will absolutely have to take place at 130. Leo Santa Cruz only made one appearance at 130, right? He just recently made his first appearance at 130, which was for the vacant WBA title. Leo Santa Cruz was victorious, but he didn't look his best, right? He didn't look dominant in that performance. He didn't look like, like he could move up to another weight class, after just appearing one time at 130, right? He faced off against Miguel Flores. He won a unanimous decision victory and won the WBA Super World Featherweight title. But like I said, it wasn't the most impressive victory for Leo Santa Cruz. This took place in November, and this was on the undercard of Deontay Wilder and Luis King Kong Ortiz, where he made his debut there. And so he didn't look that spectacular. So can he, after fighting one time at 130, jump up and fight at 135? Absolutely not. He said he will not be forced to do so either. He said that, if he's going to move to 135, he stated that it's going to be on his own time, on his own merit, when he feel his body is ready for it. So he right now currently don't feel like he's ready to move up to 135. So he said the fight with Gervonta Tank Davis and himself will have to take place at 130. We know Leonard Ellaby, Mayweather Promotions CEO, is eager to make this pay-per-view event. As they tell the world, Floyd Mayweather himself, legendary former 5-division world champion, former pound-for-pound king, the man known as Money, Floyd Mayweather, who retired undefeated 50-0, is the founder of Mayweather Promotions, obviously, hence the name Mayweather Promotions, right? So he promotes Gervonta Tank Davis. Leonard Ellaby and Floyd Mayweather tell anybody to listen that Gervonta Tank Davis is the next mega superstar in the sport of boxing. So they're looking to put on a huge pay-per-view event. They had Gervonta Tank Davis headline in Atlanta, which did enormous numbers. It was a huge success, right? So they've been looking to place him as a pay-per-view star, and who better to do it than to have Leo Santa Cruz? Problem is, Leo Santa Cruz only campaigned at 130. He just moved up from 126 to 130, and we know Gervonta Tank Davis has struggled to make 130. He moved up to 135 against Yuriokis Gamboa and still missed weight. Now, eventually, he made weight. They give you like another hour or two, on the scales to make weight, and he eventually made weight. So he did make the weight limit, but like I said, he's struggling to make the weight. It's not like he's comfortably making his weight. Shakur Stevenson is of the mindset that he don't believe that Gervonta Tank Davis can come back down to 130 and campaign and compete with Leo Santa Cruz, right? So he says that let's make it happen. He said I at Leo Santa Cruz on Instagram, I at him on Twitter, I inboxed him. I'm doing everything I can to make that fight happen between myself and Leo Santa Cruz. And the reason that he's not hard pressed to try to push for Gervonta Tank Davis fight is because he said that he's going to 135 in no time soon. He just made his debut at 130 this past Tuesday. So he's saying that going to 135 is not in the plans for him anytime soon. He wants to become undisputed at 130. So he don't believe that Gervonta Tank Davis can make 130. Now, he put Gervonta Tank Davis on notice. If he can make 130, then guess what? He want that action. But he said that he don't believe he can, so his focus is Leo Santa Cruz, right? He said that would be a huge fight. He don't believe that the other champions in the 130-pound division are going to be eager to get in the ring with him. He made mention of Miguel Bouchette. He said that I don't believe he's going to want to fight me. He responded to a fan that said, you need some more time and more experience before you get in there with Miguel Bouchette. And he responded to that fan and said, okay, when I get in there and dominate Miguel Bouchette, right, what are you going to say now, right? What are you going to say then? So he wants to fight the best of the best. He's looking to build his legacy, right? He wants the big fight. So he said that Leo Santa Cruz would be a great fight. And in my opinion, I think that he will dominate Leo Santa Cruz, right? I think that he will chop Leo Santa Cruz up because Leo Santa Cruz defense is his offense. And that's a mistake when you're dealing with somebody slick and fast and accurate as Shakur Stevenson, who is a counter puncher, who is a thinker, but knows how to let his hands go, goes to the body beautiful. And Leo Santa Cruz doesn't have the most power in the world, right? Leo Santa Cruz is a name because he been a 4-division world champion. He's action-packed. Like I said, his defense is his offense. He lets his hands go. He might be the most active fighter within the sport of boxing currently. So with that said, I think that Shakur Stevenson will dominate Leo Santa Cruz. That would be a coming out party for Shakur Stevenson, to say the least, right? And so, I also would favor Shakur Stevenson to beat Gervonta Tank Davis, right? He is now growing into his body, and at 130, being 5'8", he's taller than Gervonta Tank Davis, and I think that he's just have a better set of boxing skills than Gervonta Tank Davis. He's just more accurate. Gervonta Tank Davis obviously will have the power advantage in that fight. He's more explosive and has power advantage. Shakur Stevenson is dedicated to the sport. So Shakur Stevenson said that Oscar Valdez is also another viable opponent for him, but he's another guy. He said that he had the opportunity to fight me at 126, and he didn't take advantage of the opportunity, and he don't believe that he wants to fight. I can't make him fight. He said now Oscar Valdez is calling out Miguel Bouchette. He said, I don't blame him because Miguel Bouchette is a world champion, right? He said, but I don't believe either of those guys want to fight me, and I would chomp at the bit to get the opportunity to fight either one of those guys. He said Oscar Valdez, he was asked, Oscar Valdez is an easy fight to be made, seeing as though Oscar Valdez is on the same side of the fence with Shakur Stevenson. He said, yeah, that's all said and well, but the problem is he himself doesn't want to fight me, so I can't force him to fight me. So he's focusing on Leo Santa Cruz, right? And he said, he said, Leo Santa Cruz has been trying to ignore me. He says, but I did see in the interview late, I made a video about this, I talked about this, where Leo Santa Cruz did say, after he beats Gervonta Tank Davis, then he wants to fight with Shakur Stevenson. So Shakur Stevenson said, I did hear him make mention that he'll fight me in the future, but I'm not trying to wait to the future. I want to fight Leo Santa Cruz right now, especially seeing as though I don't think that Gervonta Tank Davis will be able to make weight at 130. He's going to struggle to do so. I think that I will be the perfect person to replace Gervonta Tank Davis. They both southpaws, right? They both very athletic. Gervonta Tank Davis is more explosive and has more power than Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is more slick with better defense, more accurate, and I just think that he just has a higher ring generalship, right? Just his knowledge in the ring just his ring awareness, I believe, is just that much more slight better than Gervonta Tank Davis. But you can't really tell because Gervonta Tank Davis is sometimes relying on his power. So, he's not so much trying to be slick, and he's not trying to be, elusive. He's trying to be right in your face and make you pay for everything, right? Everything is thrown with bad intentions. So, you can't really gauge it when you look at it from that standpoint, right? So I'm not taking anything away from Gervonta Tank Davis. But the dedication to the sport obviously is going to go in favor of Shakur Stevenson. So there is a lot of similarities if you're Leo Santa Cruz to make a smooth transition from possibly facing Gervonta Tank Davis to facing Shakur Stevenson. The difference is the money going to be there? It's not going to be is it going to be a pay-per-view event, right? Are they going to be able to pay Leo Santa Cruz the money he's looking for, as he will get fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Right now, Gervonta Tank Davis is definitely a bigger name and a bigger star than Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson only having 13, 14 fights. He is an Olympic silver medalist. He should be an Olympic gold medalist, but that's for another story. But I like the fact that Shakur Stevenson mindset is to be great by all means necessary, right? He also, like I said, made mention of a guy that's a friend of his, and he trains a lot with, and that's Jamel Herring, who holds the WBO super featherweight, 130-pound, junior lightweight world title, right? He said, friends or no friends, you in my way and stand in my way of paving my way and my legacy for greatness. And so I'm going to have to go through you. It is what it is. So his mindset is great, man. And see, when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis, because in the biggest stages in his career, he has failed to be committed, people don't believe in him. They don't think that he can make these weights. He had the fight when he fought, and he was the co-main event on Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor, which is the second biggest pay-per-view event in the history of the sport of boxing. He was a world champion, and he had the opportunity to, to be in the spotlight. 23-0, 22 knockouts, right? And he let the opportunity slip by the wayside. He missed weight. He missed weight and lost his titles on the scale, right? That shows a lack of dedication, right? Lack of focus. It's the biggest moment in your career at that point in time. Then the second biggest moment in his career is headlining in Georgia, his last fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa. He moved up to 135. Everybody expected him to make that weight comfortably, and once again he misses weight. So this just leads people to believe that you're just not focused, right? You can't focus. You're not dedicated to the sport, and this is just the mindset of a lot of people, right? So, this is where Shakur Stevenson is getting it from, where he don't believe that Gervonta Tank Davis can come back down to 130 after missing weight at 135. And so he was being asked. He said, well, the reporter asked him and said that, well, the thing is, and I'm just gonna say it was Ellie Setback. Ellie Setback said, well, eventually he did make weight, and Shakur made a gesture like, yeah, he made weight, but he struggled to make the weight. And this is the problem when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis. Nobody's saying he don't have the talent. Nobody's saying his future is not bright. Nobody's saying he don't have the opportunity to be great. Nobody's saying he don't have the opportunity to be a mega pay-per-view star. Only person that could stop Gervonta Tank Davis is Gervonta Tank Davis. And it seems like he's his own worst enemy, and he's in his own way. So we got to see how everything all plays out. But I like the mindset of Shakur Stevenson, man, and he's just looking to be great. So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out. I can't wait to see who he lands next. I absolutely can't wait. Now, he didn't make mention of another guy, Mr. Gary Russell Jr., who was the WBC featherweight world champion. But I believe Gary Russell Jr. said that he's going to go to 135, the full lightweight. He's skipping over 130. He's a WBC 126 featherweight world champion, longest reigning champion in the sport currently right now. And he said that, I believe he's going to jump over 130 and go to 135. And he's looking for the big fights up there. So we got to see how this all plays out. But I would love to see Gary Russell Jr. and Shakur Stevenson. I think that would be a high-level chess match. I think that Shakur Stevenson, I give him the edge because of the size. But man, oh man, that would be a mega fight. Would it be a mega pay-per-view event? No, because neither guy's name is big enough to make a serious impact as far as pay-per-view goes. Would it be a mega fight? Absolutely, absolutely. And I would love to see it. And hopefully it come to fruition. Maybe Gary Russell decides to campaign at 130. Hopefully that's the case. I think that Shakur Stevenson outclasses Miguel Bouchette. I think that Shakur Stevenson beats Jamel Herring. I think that Shakur Stevenson beats Leo Santa Cruz. I believe that Shakur Stevenson beats Joseph Jojo Diaz. The thing with Joseph Jojo Diaz is he has a fight coming up with Tevin Farmer in a rematch. And Tevin Farmer, I believe, is going to come in much better, much more focused. And I don't know what took place. He didn't look nothing like himself in that last fight. So I believe that Tevin Farmer will win the fight. But if Tevin Farmer did win the fight, I still favor Shakur Stevenson to beat Tevin Farmer. That would be another high-level chess match. But I want to see it all, man. I believe in Shakur Stevenson. I believe in the sport of boxing currently. So let's see how this all plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.